Good evening, everyone. It is Saturday, April 18th, 2026. This is Truth News. I am Walter Bass. It is still day 1682 since this serial child killer, serial child rapist, serial child murderer, state judge Kelly Hansen of Riverside County, California, kidnapped my 7-year-old son, stuck his dick in my 7-year-old son, and murdered my 7-year-old son. This man is entering his 17th year using his position as a state judge to steal, rape, murder, and sell innocent children. That's the truth. That's the reason I make all these videos, phone calls, emails, federal casework, everything I do. And here's a picture of my son that, according to Capitol Hill Police or Capitol Police Intelligence, has been dead since 2024 at least, if not before then. I haven't seen or heard from my child since 2021 because I reported serial child killer, serial child rapist, child sex trafficker, State Judge Kelly Hansen to the FBI. And we all know what happens when you report crimes to the FBI. They attack you, they retaliate against you, they silence you, they discredit you. Sometimes they'll even put a hole in your neck or in your head, like John F. Kennedy or Charlie Kirk. Good old FBI and the intelligence agencies of America, huh? So as always, we're going to get into tonight's show. It's my second show today. I wrote a show up, and I took last night off to let my mind, my body, and my spirit rest from all the evil. The consumption of all of this evil really takes a toll on you, and you have to be able to detach, step back, catch your breath. It'll suck you right in. It really will. And you know, there are certain things that man should not be exposed to, and once you are exposed to them, you can't undo, you can't unsee, you can't unhear a lot of things, no matter how hard you try. I know everyone knows what I'm talking about. You've been through something traumatic in your life. You've witnessed or heard something traumatic that just shakes you to your core. Literally, as a human being, it's unbelievable. And when you start doing research and you know, writing all this stuff down, it takes a toll on you. And I've covered a lot of content in these 135 videos or 136, whatever the number is. I've covered a lot of content. I've done a lot of research, a lot of reading. And some of the stuff I find is unbelievable. You know, the United States of America in 2026 is like a horror movie. It's disgusting, it's diabolical, it's evil, and I can't believe it. So, since I took last night off, last night was usually Free Speech Friday or Freestyle Friday. I kind of just covered the weekly events on an overview, the lies, the deceit, the deception, the crimes against humanity, the crimes against children, just everything. And I might do a little bit of Free Speech Friday. I think I'm gonna have to stop trying to condense this into 30 minutes. It's just too much. It's too much information. It's too widespread across our country to just condense into 30 minutes. Everyone from state judges to U.S. attorneys to governors to senators to congressmen to presidents to secretaries, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So I might have to start pumping these up to 45 minutes or so. A lot of times I speak fast, trying to get stuff in. I do an overview when I should really be going much more in depth. And it's just a lot of information. It really is. And it's, to me, I still have trouble sometimes trying to grasp what is being gained out of all of this. Why do people behave like this? What do you possibly gain selling stolen children? There's no better way to make money, and to have the lack of conscience, the lack of soul, the lack of morals, the lack of humanity to rip children and families apart and sell them like they're tires for a car or books or something is it's unbelievable to me. And sometimes I have trouble grasping. Yeah, I could understand a few bad apples in the bunch. I could understand a few psychopaths doing something like this. A John Wayne Gacy or a Jeffrey Dahmer or Charles Manson, a Ted Bundy. I get that. I get that. Things go astray, go awry sometimes. I get that. But this large of a group, we're talking presidents, world leaders, billionaires, millionaires, business owners, influential people, Hollywood, writers, producers, movie stars. We're talking across the board a spectrum of just satanic, evil people literally devouring children, raping children, selling children, literally, and having the audacity to get in front of a camera and be like, hi, how's everyone doing? How's everyone? You're great. Yeah, me too. Everything's great. The Oprah Winfreys. I mean, the Trumps, the Pete Hegseths, the Lindsey Grahams. How do these people... It's unbelievable. But, a lot of times when there's... I've seen this a lot, and I know you all have. When a spouse kills their partner, the first thing they do is boo-hoo to a camera and to a bunch of microphones and boo-hoo, poor me. I hope we find them. I hope they're okay. And I don't understand who could do this. And it was them the whole time. The whole time it was them. Like Erica Kirk with her own husband. We know, Erica. The whole world knows. They just made a new Lego video about you today. I mean, you took over his business and made $200 million in hours and days after your husband's death. Erica Kirk's like the guy in the gang. For instance, if a gang robs a bank, let's say 5 people rob a bank. There's always that one guy that they tell, don't go spend your money. Don't go buy anything stupid. Don't go buy cars or jewelry or take a trip. Just lay low, go to work, and play it cool. And there's always that one guy that goes and buys the Cadillac. Or he goes and buys a home or a Rolex. There's always that one guy. And Erica Kirk is that guy that did that girl. As soon as he was dead, she just hit the book tours, hit the talk show circuit, started raking in millions. I mean, immediately grifting, selling merchandise. Would you like to take a picture in the tent that my husband was murdered in? Only $20. So, the show I have written is Parasites and Predators of Pedophile Hill. I've covered this and I've covered this, and I'm going to keep covering it. And we're going to keep going over this because it has to be repetition in order for it to sink in. Some people don't get it the first try. They don't get it the third or fourth try. But sometimes it takes 7 or 8 tries and it finally clicks in their head and they're like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So a parasite drains its host of energy and nutrients to live and offers nothing in return. I want you to understand that. A parasite it needs a host to live. It cannot live without a host. And it drains its host of energy and nutrients in order to live and offers nothing in return. You see all of these people on Pedophile Hill, the senators, the congressmen, the cabinet, the president, they have no actual skills. They have no job skills. They have no intelligence. They have nothing. Literally, they have nothing. What they have is money to buy people to write them speeches, to shop for their clothes, to go get their food, to drive them around, to protect them. They have money to pay people to do everything they cannot do. They are parasites, just like Hollywood. These producers that put on these movies that have no talent, they have no skill, but they come across someone who can sing or is truly beautiful or who can act or who's funny. They come across a Jim Carrey or a Justin Bieber or somebody like that, and the first thing they do is corrupt them and convince them that in order for them to be successful, they have to let the parasite feed off of them. They take someone like Prince or Michael Jackson and they just leech. They're a parasite. They cling to them for years, decades, sometimes their entire lives. Sometimes these parasites will cling on to something or someone until it is completely drained dry of life force, of energy, of chi, of everything. And then they move on to the next one. They'll cut them loose and move on. These people are literally parasites. It's in the movie industry. It's in the music industry. It's in the government. All aspects. And we, the people, are the hosts. We, the people who are intelligent, who are disciplined, who have job skills, life skills, who have relationships, who are normal, functioning human beings, who understand empathy, compassion, love, remorse, guilt. We, the people who possess that, we are the hosts for the parasites of our government, our intelligence agencies, our law enforcement. A lot of these people, they're leeches. You know how many law enforcement officers I've seen that are obese, that never even get out of their cars hardly? They sit in their car with the AC going, doing nothing, and they're pushing 300 pounds and they're like 5'8"? And you expect me to believe they're going to handle a foot pursuit? They're in shape? I mean, we all remember MEAL Team 6, the National Guard unit that showed up fresh out of the Burger King. The intelligence agencies. I know the FBI hates me because I knew everything they did to me when they were doing it. And I was sending emails. I document everything that's been done to me. I have it all in email. 2 different email accounts, actually. They terminated one. My Yahoo account, I had to switch to Gmail. Every day I send emails documenting the 3 physical assaults the FBI did to me, the 3 mental health holds the FBI did to me. Also, the state judge, Kelly Hansen, could stick his dick in my 7-year-old son. They did the same thing to the Epstein survivors. These intelligence agencies are not intelligent. They're actually incompetent and stupid. They just use their power and their influence to try to like manipulate and psychologically abuse people and convince people. They use any means necessary. And it is always a game of attrition. That is something you need to learn with this government. Attrition is how they do everything. Their lies. They just keep lying for years, for decades. Attrition. Repeated attacks until your opponent submits. A long-term war strategy. Attrition. And that is what the FBI does, the CIA. They're still trying to push this Tyler Robinson narrative. They're still trying to convince us that the government didn't have anything to do with JFK. They're still trying to convince us that the President of the United States of America is not compromised by our greatest ally. They're still trying to convince us that they are truly public servants who have our best interest at heart. Still. We've known for years, for decades. And these parasites, and I mean across the board, Hollywood, music, government, they are peddling flesh and trafficking kids and mocking us while they do it. They set up these charities, these organizations, these nonprofits with titles like Red Cross or the Anti-Human Trafficking Agency, or, human trafficking awareness, and let's put an end to child sex trafficking. Just like Oprah and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, as soon as Hawaii burnt down, does anyone remember this? As soon as Hawaii burnt down, they put out their little infomercial. Please donate to the people of Hawaii. We have a fund set up. If you would like to help the people of Hawaii rebuild, please donate. This is Oprah Winfrey, and I have The Rock Johnson, and we're asking for some help for our friends and our neighbors of the Hawaiian community who have been completely devastated by these wildfires and have lost everything. So if you'll just make your checks payable to Oprah Winfrey or Dwayne The Rock Johnson and send us tens or hundreds or thousands or millions of dollars, we will be glad to put it in our pocket. We are using this disaster, this catastrophe, to prey on these victims for financial profit. This is what they've done for years, for decades. It's all just disgusting. Robbing our resources while laughing and mocking us. These people live off of what we do. We build the roads. We put the electricity in. We make sure the power lines are working. We paint the houses. We fix the cars. We fix the water lines, the gas lines. We do that. We, the people, do that. I've never seen a politician climb a pole to fix a wire. I've never seen a lineman politician. Sure, Mark Wayne Mullen owns a plumbing company here in Oklahoma. Do you think he's actually plumbing, or do you think he just put the money up and hired people that know how to do everything and just used his money to back the business? This is what they always do. That is trafficking. That is preying on people. See, most people who start businesses and run businesses are generally well versed in that business. They have knowledge, they have practice, they have expertise. Not these people. No. They just use their money to set up a business, and they pay people, and they don't even pay them a living wage. That's why the warehouse got burned down in Riverside County, California. That's why that warehouse was burned down. The employee who burned it down said, you should have paid us a living wage. And this is what our government does to us. They use us to keep this country going, and then they rob us, sell our children, laugh and mock us. It's disgusting. And they live behind psyops. It's like, if you've ever seen The Wizard of Oz, when the wizard gets exposed, he's just this little man on a box with a bunch of levers and gadgets, and there's smoke, and there's screens, and there's thunder, and there's lights. That's all these people are. They're just glitter suits, lights, microphones, some pyrotechnics. There's nothing to them. There's no substance whatsoever in these people. There's no core. There's no backbone. They have 6, 7, 8 people writing a speech for them, writing a 10, 15, 20-minute speech. And it's all like spell checked and Googled and gone over 3 and 4 times. And they can't even deliver the speech with authenticity. Have you seen these people speak? It is so, you can tell they're like, you can tell, first of all, I'm going to look both ways because they're always reading off the teleprompter. So I've ended 8 wars, and if you count Lebanon, and Israel, it could be 10, that could be 10 wars, if you count Lebanon and Ukraine, and we're gonna make America great again. I mean, these people, they're just talking heads. They're bags of flesh. They're like sock puppets. You just put some money in their pockets, and then you stick your hand up the rear end and just work their mouth. Just Miriam Adelson, Mark Levine, Ben Shapiro, just talking to whoever they want to talk to. It's disgusting. What's even worse is they use our media, they use entertainment, they use movies, music, even the podcasters. Joe Rogan. I just watched a video where Theo Vaughn was on Joe Rogan, and Theo Vaughn, there's a moment. Let me pull it up for you. And you can tell by his body language. The body don't lie. You can't hide what's going on inside your body language.
Every story that comes out of Hollywood.
That was a bad one. Let me check on my library. Because I wanted to see, right here. No, right here. The moment Theo Vaughn lost respect for Joe Rogan. Now watch
how Theo Vaughn starts realizing that Joe is fully compromised, as he didn't want to hear the atrocities in Gaza that Theo was talking about.
Drone warfare in general is crazy.
It's crazy. And they've been using that, dude. In Gaza, there was a lot of, I think it was a experimental grounds for a lot of insane new warfare type of possibilities. There's that Palantir company just keeping tabs on everything that was happening. And
Palantir's involved in Gaza?
Palantir was involved in Gaza, yeah.
For sure?
Mm-hmm.
Put that into perplexity.
See right there.
Theo's body language
See his body language?
telling
Like,
how
oh, crap.
uncomfortable and out of place.
He's like, come on, Joe, not you too. Come on, they didn't give my boy Joe Rogan. I mean, the Patrick Bet-Davids, the Tim Pool, Alex Jones. Some of you are saying, well, Alex Jones is going against Trump now. No, he's not. He's what they call controlled opposition. Good cop, bad cop. This is all a big theater show. It is all a public spectacle, every bit of it. It's a circus meant to entertain you, meant to keep you distracted, to keep you busy, to keep your mind occupied, so you don't see who and what these scumbags really are. They're evil. And, they're using podcasters, like I said, Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, and many others. Controlled opposition is like good cop, bad cop. You got the bad cop who comes in, he threatens you, we're going to give you life, and we're going to do all these horrible things, all this stuff's going to happen to you, and then you got the other cop who comes in and says, look, I know you're hurting. I know what you're going through right now. I know you're stressed, but I need you to talk to me, tell me what's going on. And that's all this is. Good cop, bad cop. Senate, House. President, Secretary of War, press secretary. Why does the president need a press secretary with all this media we have? Everyone has a phone. You can give it. All you got to do is say press conference. Why do we need Caroline Leavitt, Pam Bondi, Scott Bessent, Pete Hegseth, Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz? Why do we need all these people? What are they doing? I'll tell you what they're doing. They're pushing an agenda, a narrative. And it's like a whole gang of demons, a legion of demons, all just browbeating you, psychologically abusing you with constant berating, just psychological attrition to just constantly repeat the same lie over and over and over and over and over until you either submit and say, forget it, whatever, you're right, whatever. And we've all been to that point. We've all been around someone, whoever, whether it was a child, an adult, a relationship, a boss, a coworker. We've all been around someone who just lies and lies and lies. You knew they did something, you called them out on it, and to this day, they still don't admit they did it. We all know that person. Everybody has at least one, if not many. And I don't know how people live with themselves like that. I don't know how people live with themselves. Today, before I went to the gym, I watched the Jackie Robinson story with Harrison Ford and Chad Boswick. I believe that's who was in it, Chad Boswick. But, when they were berating Jackie Robinson, calling him all kinds of racial slurs, just bullying him to no end when he first joined the Major League Baseball, the Brooklyn Dodgers at Ebbets Field. He had a moment where he just went into the tunnel behind the dugout and broke a wooden bat and broke down and was very angry, very upset, crying. And Harrison Ford told him these men have to live with themselves for what they're doing. And Jackie Robinson said, yeah, well, I got to live with myself too. And Harrison Ford responded. And he said, we need you because you're the medicine. You're like medicine, Jackie. And what he meant by that, and it really made me think when I heard that, you're like medicine. You see, most medicine don't taste good. It don't feel good. You know, I've had motorcycle wrecks and I had road rash all down my back, my arms, gravel inside they had to dig out. I had to get staples. I had 3 staples right here in my head, a couple stitches in my eyebrow. And I remember it hurt. The medicine I needed to heal hurt. They were scrubbing fresh road rash. I'd wrecked at about 55, 60 miles an hour with no helmet. And they took me to the hospital and they gave me the staples. And I mean, it all hurt. Yeah, every bit of it. The scrubbing of the road rash. And it was medicine. And at the time, it was the most excruciating pain. I mean, it was bad enough that I'd wrecked a motorcycle. I was skin up and cut up and bleeding. That was pain enough. No, they put pain on top of pain by scrubbing me down, putting staples and stitches in me. And I didn't understand that it was a necessary pain. You see, and that's what medicine is. Medicine, no one wants to take it. It don't taste good, and it usually hurts. Surgeries, you know, when they put broken bones back in place, it hurts. It don't feel good. But it's a necessary pain. And the Harrison Ford, the coach, the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, was telling Jackie Robinson he's the medicine the Major League Baseball needs. He's a necessary pain, a necessary truth. And that's what the truth is. The truth is medicine. And it is a very painful medicine, especially if you are sick and ate up with lies and evil and deception and manipulation and crimes against children and crimes against humanity. No one wants that truth to come out. No one wants to take that medicine. No one. I mean, if I had ever done anything like that, I would probably go above and beyond to hide it. I don't think like that. Never have, never will. And I can't understand how people think like that. But the truth is a medicine, and that's our problem with our country. Our country is sick. Our country is dying. And the reason it's sick and dying is because it needs the truth about everything and everyone, from the president to the FBI, to governors, to judges, to law enforcement, to intelligence agencies. Everyone needs to either just go away or face the truth and deal with the consequences and accountability. And that's another thing, consequences. So, and this controlled opposition, getting back to the controlled opposition, good cop, bad cop, some of you are, why is that necessary? You see, this keeps us off balance. This keeps us thinking that we have somebody fighting for us. Tim Dillon said today, this isn't going to be fixed in the midterms. No one's coming to save us. We're not going to fix this at a ballot box. That we're not going to vote our way out of this. I don't think you understand the amount of money, the amount of corruption, the levels that this reaches is top to bottom, from the state level to the president of the United States. This is an infection, a parasitic infection spanning the entire nation. This is not going to be fixed in the midterms. If there even are midterms, I don't think there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be. I think there's going to be a false flag. I think there's going to be a martial law called, a false flag to declare a martial law. It's a little two-piece setup. I think Donald Trump, the pedophile punk, wants to die in the Oval Office. He didn't go to all this work with the ballroom and all the gold and redecorating and tearing down the East Wing and the Arch de Trump or whatever it is. He's not doing all that to say, well, thanks for the 4 years. Good luck to everybody. No. He's making himself a nice home. He is fixing it, remodeling it, and designing it the way he wants it because he don't plan on going anywhere. You don't take a rental house and redesign it, put in a new kitchen, new flooring, put new paint on it just for a rental home that you're going to be in for a year or two, lease out, and then you're going to leave. You don't do that. You do that to a home you're owning, that you're going to be there 30 years. So let's go over what we're looking at when I said this parasitic infection. It is an organism comprised of parasites. All of these people are sick, they're evil, they're godless, soulless bags of flesh, and we're going to go through some of them. I've covered a lot of them on here. We got drunks. Judge Jeanine Pirro, Pete Hegseth, drunks. Lindsey Graham, drunk. They get in front of cameras, slurring their words, drunk. Kash Patel had to have his office door breached. He was drunk, passed out in the office. They had to break the door down to check on him to see if he was okay. These are people in charge of FBI. These are people in charge of justice system. These are people who are in charge of Tomahawk missiles that land on children's schools, murdering 165 children. Drunks, alcoholics, addicts. Do you understand that the addict mind is not a normal mind? Do you understand the lack of self-control, the lack of self-awareness, the lack of ability to make sound, reasonable decisions? We have pedophiles. Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz. I mean, I could go through a whole list of pedophiles in our government. Donald Trump, all of the people protecting him, Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz said on video, could we all please stop attacking pedophiles? Ted Cruz said that on video. No, Ted, no, we can't stop attacking pedophiles because it's sick, it's evil, it's disgusting. And anyone that harms children should be drawn and quartered, should be waterboarded. That's it. You ruined that child for life. You took their life. You took their soul, their spirit. No one is the same after they have been treated in such a vile, vulgar, inhumane manner. Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, Caroline Leavitt, who gets up there every day and protects the world's most famous child rapist. How can a woman who's pregnant and has a child get up there and lie and defend a man who's 80 years old with dementia that rapes and beats children? How can a woman do that? Pam Bondi? Judge Jeanine Pirro? Susie Wiles? I don't get it. I don't understand it. We got a stable of whores on Pedophile Hill. A stable. These are whores. Anna Paulina Luna. Do you think she's up there because she's just super intelligent and knows so much about law? She's a beauty contest. She's a pageant girl. What do you think she does up there? What do you think her role is on Pedophile Hill around those creepy old 60, 70, 80-year-old men? Why do you think they brought her in? Yeah. She's entertainment at their sex parties and their orgies. Her, Nancy Mace, I mean, a lot of they're just whores. That's it. They're just whores for the rich and powerful men up there. They offer nothing of substance. They don't stand for anything. And again, these are women. Women protecting men who rape women. How can a woman defend an Eric Swalwell, a Matt Gaetz, a Jim Jordan, a Donald Trump? How can a woman do that? Because they're demons. They're not with their Jezebels. They're Erica Kirks. We have murderers. Tony Gonzalez burns a woman alive. What's his punishment? I'm going to resign. I'm going to step down and, probably get a lifetime salary of $174,000 a year and keep a lot of my perks and, security clearances. I'm going to go ahead and resign because I burned a woman alive. And his attitude is, it's just one woman, so what? Like Eric Swalwell, I only rape my own age, but they're my age. They're my staffers. I should be allowed to rape them. That's these people's mentality. Donald Trump, he murdered Ivana Trump. Everyone knows he murdered Ivana Trump. Threw her down the stairs, beat the crap out of her. Told the New York ME, she fell down the stairs. Write it up. Here's $100,000. Thanks. Put her in my golf course. Bury her at the golf course. Don't put her near one of the holes. Put her off in the bushes. Yeah. So these parasites range in age, sex, race, but they are all parasitic degenerates. I mean, literally degenerates. They're sexual degenerates. They're addicts. They're alcoholics. They're just empty. They're nothing. They're nothing. What would these people do outside of their government position? What could you see a Lindsey Graham doing? Do you see him working anywhere? Do you see Lindsey Graham owning a business, operating a business, having any customer relation skills? Do you see Lindsey Graham doing any blue collar or white collar jobs? The only thing these people have ever been halfway decent at was lying, and they have lost that. They're done. The only thing they've ever done is lie. And they can't even do that anymore. I mean, they're horrible at it. Horrible. If you watch, you can tell when they're lying because they do rapid blinks. Watch Scott Bessent. Watch him when he speaks. And the president says that we're not going to leave the restrictions on Russia. I mean, watch these people when they lie, they blink 90 miles an hour. I've watched them all. It is a tale, every one of them. They start, Caroline Levitt, she starts like rapid blinking when she's lying. And when she's taking the question, she goes, big deep breath. And so the president, and it's like they're like, I don't know if anyone remembers Max Headroom from the 80s, the little TV guy who's like a cartoon on a TV guy. Look up Max Headroom from the 80s. That's who Scott Bessent reminds me of. To a lot of these people with the way they behave. It's disgusting. We covered that. So, Pete Hegseth quotes Quentin Tarantino as Bible while dropping Tomahawk missiles on children's schools, murdering 165 children. Let me repeat that. Pete Hegseth, the former Fox News weekend host, who is drunk all the time, belligerent, a woman abuser by his own mom who told on him, who drops, bless me, who drops Tomahawk missiles intentionally on children's schools, murdering 165 children, quotes Quentin Tarantino movies as an authentic Bible verse. Do you see the hypocrisy and the ignorance and all of that? I mean, every bit of it. It's like it's a humiliation ritual is what it is. They think they're humiliating us, and they're doing all this as if we don't know, as if we're stupid. And I'm just wondering, do they know how stupid they look? Do they even care? I don't think they even care. Okay, the president attacks the Pope and poses as Jesus. You want me to say that again? The President of the United States of America, who is documented raping and beating children, attacks the Pope and posts pictures of himself depicted as Jesus Christ. You don't think that's a humiliation ritual? You don't think that's demonic? You don't think there's something off with that? And all of these burning women alive, the drunken TV shows, murdering 165 children, Tomahawk missiles, raping and beating children, stealing hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, Rick Scott, $1.7 billion in Medicare fraud. All of these scumbags are worth millions, every one of them. It always ends with hearings, meetings, and excuses and lies. We're going to have an oversight committee hearing. We're going to have a meeting. We're going to have a meeting about this. Oh, yeah, we're looking into it. There's an investigation. Yeah, there's an investigation. Ethics committee. We got committees, oversight committees, ethics committees, education committees, rule of law committees. We got lots of committees. No consequences, but we got committees. Committees coming out the ears, but no consequences. Lies. So, if you want to know what one parasite can do to one person, go listen to Robert F. Kennedy speak. Listen to RFK speak. And that was supposedly a parasite in his brain. I don't know if he had an overdose on drugs or what happened to that guy. I was watching something today. He was speaking. It was just, it made me nauseous. It made me nauseous. I thought, what is this guy's deal? And he's a self-proclaimed felcher. And I'm not going to describe what it is because it's absolutely disgusting. It makes my stomach turn even saying the word. If you want to know what felching is, what Robert F. Kennedy does in his spare time, just Google it. And just know that RFK, or Maha, Make America Healthy Again, that's his favorite pastime, felching. I made myself nauseous just saying that word. Now, this is also the same man who cut off a raccoon's penis he saw laying in the road and took it home. Does that sound normal to you? Does that sound normal to you? Does a grown man stopping in the middle of a road to see a dead raccoon, jumping out with a knife, chopping his penis off, getting back in his vehicle and driving home with it and saying, hey, everybody, look what I got. Look at this. You'll never guess what this is. Does that sound normal to you? These are the public servants of the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at 41 minutes, 42 minutes. I knew I was going to go over. Let's close with a Bible verse because these people need Jesus. These people need to go. We need to go up there as a group and just lock them in the building and be done with this. We don't need these people. They hate us. They hate our country. They hate God. They hate children. They hate freedom. They hate everything. They hate themselves and take it out on everybody else. This is a humiliation ritual. This is the greatest game of projection. These people are projecting their nothingness, their emptiness, and their evil upon this whole country. And I'm just sick of it. I am sick of all of it. Sick of them. Disgusted. So we're in Romans. We're still in Romans. So let's go Romans 13:12. Do this, knowing the time that it is already the hour for you to awaken from sleep. For now, salvation is nearer to us than when we believed. Wake up. Wake up, people. The night is almost gone and the day is near. Therefore, let us lay aside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light. The deeds of darkness are all of this evil, all of these lies, all of this psychological operations, these psyops, the propaganda. That is darkness. The armor of light is the truth. It's the medicine this country needs to heal and get better and move forward. We're never going to move forward without truth. I'm telling you right now. Let us behave properly as in the day, not in carousing and drunkenness, not in sexual promiscuity and sensuality, not in strife and jealousy, but put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the flesh in regard to its lusts. Says it plain as day right there. Stop giving into your flesh. Stop giving your body what it wants. It wants to eat. It wants to drink. It wants to do drugs. It wants to have sex. Stop. Live by the Spirit. Be holy. Be clean. Be pure. These demons are just done. They are done. They have rotted and corrupted their soul till there's nothing left. There's nothing left for them. And they're trying to take everybody to hell with them, and I'm not going. I, for one, am not going. You want to go to hell? Bye. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. So I'm going to cut this off for now. It's 45 minutes in. I want to thank everyone for your time, your attention. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will see you tomorrow.